why your inner child still hurts. Welcome, welcome. Come right in. Today I'm in the garden. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found this space. And if you're already a part of our growing community, welcome back. You are seen and you are loved. Today, I'm going to be diving very deep and talking about the inner wounds, the kinds that don't always bleed on the outside, but shapes every part of how we live, how we love, how we lead, and shape in the whole world. We're talking about emotional pain that stems from rejection, neglect, betrayal, all those moments where your voice didn't matter, where you were overlooked, where you were dismissed and misunderstood. You've learned to just cope. You've accomplished a lot, but deep inside, you still wonder, am I truly whole? Let's unpack that together. We often hear the word trauma, but let's pause and ask, what does trauma really mean? Especially for women like you and me. Trauma isn't always a dramatic one-time event. It can be an ongoing emotional neglect. It can be harsh words or environments where your needs were ignored or minimized. Here's how I define trauma in our everyday lives. Trauma is any experience that left you feeling powerless, disconnected from your true self, or convinced you that you had to change who you are to survive. Maybe no one yelled, but they didn't protect you either. Maybe they loved you, but only when you performed, when you succeeded or stayed small. Those experiences, they created deep emotional scars, and they don't just go away with time. Now, let me walk you through a few common emotional wounds many of us carry. Harsh words. Think about it. A time when someone told you, you are too much, you're too emotional, you're so sensitive. These words planted seeds of self-doubt. Now you second guess yourself, you minimize your feelings or your emotional reactions. Another one is emotional inconsistency. Maybe you grew up in a home where love was there, but only certain days, or love came with strings. That inconsistency can lead you to crave intensity over stability in relationships without even realizing it. Third one is the not enough wound. For high-performing women like you, this one is familiar. No matter how much you achieve, it never feels quite like enough. And deep down, you're afraid that if you slow down, everything might fall apart. Forgive me, there's a car just running through the streets. So these are not character flaws. They are actually protective patterns that you developed to be able to keep the pain. So let me speak truth to you. Healing isn't about getting over it. Healing is about understanding how these past experiences have shaped you, and then you reclaiming the pen to rewrite your own story going forward. Healing means giving yourself permission to pause, to reflect, to grieve, and grow. Healing means asking, why do I react this way? Why do I feel safest when I'm in control? Why is stillness so hard for me? It's not because you're broken. It's because you've adapted to survive. But now you're ready to thrive. And thriving starts with reclaiming your voice, your worth, your wholeness. Let's bring this back to scripture. If you've ever read the book of Job, you know Job, he had everything. Family, fortune, favor. Then in a moment, it was all taken. At first, Job tried to stay strong. He said, the Lord gives and takes away. But as the pain lingered, Job started crying out. He questioned, he grieved aloud. Here is the beautiful truth. God didn't rebuke Job for his emotions. God didn't say, man up or have more faith. God met Job in the dust, in his questions, in his raw honesty. This tells us that faith and emotional pain are not enemies. You can be strong, believing, and still feel deeply. You can trust God and wrestle with what He allows. And in that wrestling, God draws near. Now, I want us to talk about science, the science of healing, because God gave us wisdom and tools to support our transformation. You see, the brain and trauma are connected. Trauma rewires the brain. It creates hypervigilance, where you're constantly scanning for danger, even when you're safe. And ever heard the saying, the body keeps the score? It's so true. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. That's why you might feel anxious, you might feel tight, or reactive in situations that should feel fine. So, naming your emotions, psychological studies show that naming is so helpful because it reduces its intensity. So, like journaling or voice noting your thoughts, being radically honest with yourself. Therapy also works. A trauma-informed therapist can help you untangle these roots. Remember, therapy is not weakness. It's actually wise stewardship of your mind and your spirit. Here are 3 signs you might still be carrying unresolved emotional wounds. Number 1, you're hyper-aware. You're always waiting for the next shoe to drop. You call it being prepared, but it's actually anxiety. Number 2, avoidance. You avoid certain people, certain places. You avoid some conversations that feel emotionally risky. You've mastered the art of escape. And the next one is emotional flashbacks. You react intensely to something minor because it triggers a deep old wound. None of this mean you're broken. They mean something in you still needs care. Sister, please hear me. You are not alone. You are not too damaged. And you are not behind. You are healing. You are growing. You are shedding survival. And you're stepping into wholeness. How do I know that? The fact that you're watching this video. Healing is not linear. It comes in waves. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. But every step is sacred. Every tear matters. And every moment you choose to love yourself a little more is a moment you rewire your legacy. You rewrite your story. Alright, if this message spoke to you today, here's what I'd like you to do. Please comment below what resonated with you the most, and so that others can read and benefit from it and have healing and hope. Another one, please like the video. It tells the algorithm that women like you matter and that this conversation needs to be heard. Lastly, share it with some friend who is strong on the outside but silently hurting inside. And please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any soul nourishing content that I do provide. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. And thank you for being brave. And thank you for doing the sacred work of healing. Until next time, stay anchored in truth, wrapped in grace, and open to joy. I'm Marvel Adeyemi, your psychotherapist for Christian women seeking healing emotionally. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.